The American Mafia, power, blood, and legacy. For over a century, the American Mafia ruled from the shadows, pulling strings, striking fear, and controlling millions in illegal enterprise. Their legacy is stained with blood, but it also tells a story of immigration, power, and the dark side of the American dream. Today, we're diving deep into the rise, fall, and transformation of the American Mafia. It all began in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Thousands of Italian and Sicilian immigrants came to America, fleeing poverty and seeking opportunity. But discrimination, poor working conditions, and limited options pushed some into organized crime. The Mafia as we know it evolved from the Sicilian criminal brotherhoods, rooted in secrecy, loyalty, and omerta, the code of silence. In American cities like New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia, these groups began to operate in extortion, gambling, and smuggling. By the 1930s, the American Mafia had become organized, thanks in large part to Charles "Lucky" Luciano. He helped establish the Commission, a national board of directors for the Mafia. At the heart of it were the infamous 5 families of New York. 1. Gambino. 2. Genovese. 3. Lucchese. 4. Colombo. 5. Bonanno. Each family controlled its own territory and rackets, from loan sharking to narcotics trafficking. Conflicts were settled not with bullets, but through the Commission. For decades, they thrived by staying invisible, powerful, and united. But the Mafia wasn't without bloodshed. Power struggles often turned deadly. In Chicago, Al Capone rose to national infamy during Prohibition, turning bootlegging into an empire. Back in New York, the Castellammares War in the 1930s saw rival gangs wage a brutal war for dominance. Through the decades, hitmen like Richard Kuklinski, aka the Iceman, and mob enforcers like Sammy the Bull Gravano became household names either through violence or betrayal. By the 1970s and 80s, the federal government had had enough. The RICO Act, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, became the Mafia's worst nightmare. It allowed prosecutors to target the entire organization, not just individuals. In 1985, the infamous Commission trial took down bosses from 3 of the 5 families. FBI agents like Joe Pistone, who went undercover as Donnie Brasco, helped expose the Mafia from within. And when high-ranking mobsters like Gravano flipped and testified, it shattered the Mafia's code of silence. Today, the Mafia isn't what it used to be. Its power has waned. Many of its leaders are either dead, in prison, or turned informants. Other criminal groups, like Russian and Mexican cartels, have taken over many of their former rackets. But the Mafia isn't dead. The families still exist, smaller, quieter, more cautious. From New York to Chicago, and even in places like Florida and New Jersey, they continue to operate beneath the radar. Despite their crimes, the Mafia left a huge mark on American culture. Films like The Godfather and Goodfellas romanticized and criticized mob life. The Sopranos gave us a raw, human look at a modern mob boss. Behind the headlines in Hollywood, though, lies a story of power built on fear, blood, and silence. And while the golden age of the Mafia may be over, its legacy still echoes through American history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into criminal history, hidden power, and forgotten legends. And remember, the truth is always more dangerous than the myth.